Hi, my lovely people. Section 107 Fair Use allows us to talk about it, and that's what we are here to do. Please do not go out of your way to dislike anybody we talk about in this video. It is for entertainment and reaction purposes only. This is my opinion and my opinion only. Happy Monday, my lovely people. Baby, we have got to get caught up. Now, if you guys do not know, last week, about Friday-ish, Peach was dropping videos about her son being bullied by an officer at school about a shirt that he was wearing, and it got so out of hand. Her son was actually crying and upset at school that she then had to kind of double back and go and pick him up. Now, y'all, I have been trying to wait on this topic before I spoke on it because I was really crossing my fingers, because the last that we had heard, right, was that her and the teachers and her and the principals, they were emailing back and forth, and they were going to have this meeting, and they were going to have to get to the bottom of all the things that had happened. So I'm like, all right, y'all, I'm going to wait till Monday to talk about this, because maybe on Monday she'll talk about the meeting or she'll talk about something that has happened. But honey, in Peach fashion, why did I give her the benefit of the doubt? Because none of it took place. Let me say something. If you wake up on a Monday morning, okay, and you're sitting there showing yourself with a bra on, talking about that you got your tatas hanging out and your husband loving and you pregnant with twins, then you going from talking about that to you riding DICK on your tippy toes, and you think that that's cute, and you on here talking about how somebody got to warm you up before they stick you. I'm just like, girl, is this why your child is going through the things that they going through for real, for real? Because let's be honest, according to her, it was all about a shirt that the officer so-called did not know was, being purchased online, and he wanted him to take it off, but other students had it on. And then she started going off until it was being racially profiled. Once it went into the racial profile things, a lot of people were saying to Peach, once again, let me say this as a disclaimer, who you vote for and what you believe in ain't my business. That's your constitutional right to vote and have your own beliefs, so I'm not going there. But a lot of people, let's talk about this case, was saying, but you voted for someone who seems to have some racist beliefs. She had to make this whole video to say, no, there is no white pie, there's black pie, there's American pie, and my kids this and my kids that, and they're, I moved them to a predominantly white neighborhood, and I'm trying to give them the best life, and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. Let me just say this right here. We all know that wherever you live, there's a good neighborhood, there's a bad neighborhood, there's a north side, there's a south side, there's an east side, there's a west side. Where you choose to live and where you can afford to live, that's your problem. I am a firm believer that just because you live on not such of a good side of town doesn't mean that that's the mentality you have to have. The woman that we're talking about here, she was born, raised, and bred in the projects, and that's the belief she brought with her to where she says she now lives in the suburbs. She has a project pet mentality, okay? So it doesn't matter what school her child goes to, she brings that energy to that school. A lot of people know who she is. At this point, I don't think anyone is taking her or her children serious. I will say kudos to the principal for staying calm and trying to resolve the situation. But you have to think that the teachers, the security officer, and everybody else are out here and they're seeing the things that you produce on the internet. You're always talking about their dad, his D, other people's kids, down in your mama, reacting to things you have no business on. You then once say, oh, well, I have to get the black piece of pie. But when you just on here calling Kamala B and saying that you don't care, she's not black. And I mean, the things that you say to your children versus the things that you put out on the internet, it doesn't make sense. So if I was watching you on the internet and then I had to deal with you in real life in a professional setting, I'm still going to be like, okay, what's this act you putting on? You at the school talking all calm, but then as soon as you walk out to school, you winding your belly up and tooting your behind all on the concrete. It just don't add up. At this point, I'm going to be honest. I think that Gregory McKay is having a hard time with a lot of things. I don't think it's just about a t-shirt. I don't think that he got so upset that he was crying in school after the situation in other classes that it was all about a t-shirt. I think that it's numerous things, right? He's been bounced around school to school. He has all this pressure on him. He seems to like to do content, but he doesn't want to do the content that his mother is making him do. Dance around like a wild animal. Get out here, talk about his dad. Get out here, talk about his life. He looks like he wants to do fashion. He looks like he wants to design shirts. He don't look like he want to be filming his brothers and sisters all day long, doing all of this crazy stuff. And I think that a lot of things that his mother posts falls back on him. I think a lot of the goofy antics that he does out here trying to keep up with everybody and make himself look popular and popping falls back on him. What we do falls back on our children. And in this instant, all this stuff she was doing about politics, all this stuff she's doing about black and white, all this stuff you're doing about controversy topics are going to fall back on your children. Your social media has influenced the way people look and deal with it. If y'all remember back in the day, and I'm not trying to make the video too long and ramble on, but if y'all remember when she was doing the realty thing and she was showing what people were saying about her on Facebook, and it was a physical therapist and a speech therapist that had both dealt with Peach and her children, and they were both under there saying, well, you know, this is how she acted in real life. This is how she behaves when I had to deal with her and her children. She's so uncouth. She's just not put together. It's tragic, right? If you remember that, see, that just shows how your professional, business, home, your whole mentality is just all one thing. It's just trifling. It's a ghetto garbage bag. It's nasty. And I'm going to tell you, I'm pretty sure that principal was sitting there looking at her like, girl, do you think that you're going to come in here and be a philosopher? Now you're trying to be a role model when we know what you really are. Like, see, that's the things that affect your kids. So I'm going to just say this. Keep dropping these DICK comments and what you going to ride on and not worrying about what happens. And then kids do fall through cracks. And then you'll look up and you'll say it had nothing to do with you when really you were the cause of it. Baby, it's a lot we could say, but this is what I'm going to say. I can't wait to see what y'all got to say about this down in the comment below, because when I tell you, we're going to have to go live about all this, because there's so much I could say, but just a little bit of time. But I wanted to let y'all know I was watching. I'll see y'all down below.